Hi, hello. How are you lot? You alright? Oh, it's like Butlins this. It's great, isn't it? Normally when I walk into a room full of people of this kind of age group, not to be offensive, normally the mutters that I get in the background are that, blimey, that Velma from Scooby-Doo's really let herself go. Fuck. A bit different from Velma from Scooby-Doo. For a start, it's generally taken that Velma is a lesbian. I'm not quite there. I'm a bona fide bisexual person, which means that I'm not quite riding in the mystery machine, but I do have a couple of orange-coloured roller neck jumpers. They don't go with their hair. But I won't talk about it too much because people get a bit uncomfortable with it because they hear that word and they think slut. When in fact anyone that knows me really well will tell you that it's just that I'm really, really fickle. I'm the kind of person who wanders into Burger King and orders a Big Mac and gets really pissed off when I can't get one. But I remember when I told my mum for the first time, I was being really brave, and I walked in and it was kind of a Freudian slip kind of situation. Because I meant to say, Mum, would you like a coffee? And I said, Mum, I'm bisexual. And my mother, being a lot like myself, also had a bit of a Freudian slip. She meant to say, that's fantastic, darling, good for you. And what she actually said was, get me a fucking coffee. Bless her, she's actually really lovely. But I was a teenager in the 90s, and that was really hard. It wasn't easy in the 90s, especially talking to boys. I couldn't talk to boys. Ooh, pretty. I get up close to them. Great fun. I can't talk to anyone apparently, the microphone breaks. I couldn't talk to them because what would happen was my tongue would swell up and my stomach would start feeling all awkward and horrid and I'd start sweating. Turns out I just have a really bad allergy to Lynx Africa. It made it really hard to talk to anyone. But I did get a boyfriend. He was great. Had him for a whole summer. And he was a hippie hardcore raver. He was so cool. He was called Alan. He had one of those day glow neon wristwatch things. It was really cool. And he danced to everything, absolutely everything. So I'd be like, Alan, do you want to go to the cinema? He'd be like, yeah. Alan, do you want to go and hang around by the bus stop? Yeah. Yeah, turns out he's just really scared of wasps. So I had to ditch him quite quickly. But I didn't need a boyfriend in the 90s because the telly was so good. The TV was much, much better in the 90s. We had good, solid, interpersonal dramas like This Life, Our Friends in the North, Going Live. I'd always tune in every week just to see whether Gordon the Gopher actually did attack Felix Schofield. I would have done. But nowadays, we are armpit deep in forensic crime dramas. I don't like forensic crime dramas. They piss me off. We've got CSI at New York, Miami, Chicago, Las Vegas, Bristol. CSI Bristol would be brilliant. I think it'd be absolutely fantastic. All right, Sergeant, what we got going on here then? Right, Sarge, well, I have found half a cup of tea and a Dairy Lee Dunker. Wouldn't find anything interesting in Bristol. Bristol's lovely. You look like you're going to kill me. Are you all from Bristol? It's just that way, the general Gloucester look, yeah.
Gordon the Gopher!
Oh, there's Gordon. Hey, Gordon.
Yeah.
Nice. Glad to see you got rid of the squeaker. It was kind of annoying. Cool. But the CSI type of thing and the forensic dramas, they're obsessed with sperm. Which is why I don't like them. They are absolutely obsessed with sperm. You don't fingerprint anything anymore. You look for sperm. Which is ridiculous. These serial killers, they're really slapdash with it. It goes everywhere. There'll be some poor tart kneeling down on the floor with a pair of tweezers trying to tweeze up little crumbs of bourbon biscuit that they think may have fallen from the mouth of the serial killer, just so they can get some crumb of DNA. And then some bastard in a suit will walk in and go, don't worry about that, love. He's spuffed all over the walls. It's fine. We'll find him in about a week. It's ridiculous. I think it'd be a lot more interesting if sperm could talk. Because that way, it would go on for about 5 minutes. It'd be like, who did it? It was that bloke. Done. MasterChef. Fantastic. I shouldn't talk about sperm, really. because my mum's here.
How's your bed sheets?
I should, they're clean actually, yesterday. Yeah, my mum is here, so I have to kind of behave myself because I'm getting to that age now where you get that kind of respect going on for your parents that you kind of have when you're younger, but you start getting it again when you realise that you're turning into them. And it's not a shameful thing to turn into my mum. She's a beautiful lady, she parties hard and she scares the shit out of my boyfriend. Unfortunately, I've discovered that I'm actually turning into my dad. And my dad's great, don't get me wrong. He's a lovely bloke, Trevor. Runs a karaoke like a proper dad. Unfortunately, I can't spend more than about 4 hours with him because the tension that mounts up as it gets more and more annoying. And the fact that I've started doing the things that he does, I can't cope. My main thing at the moment is, it's hard to admit it to you lot, but I can't tell Lauren Laverne and Holly Willoughby apart. I don't know which is which. I don't know which is which, and I don't know if that makes me racist. And it worries me ever so slightly. And my dad can't do it. When he's watching films, it's a nightmare. Do never watch a film with your dad, because I don't know if your dad does it, but if anyone's wearing similar kind of clothing, he can't tell the people apart. He hasn't got a clue what's going on. Saving Private Ryan, oh my God. Saving Private Ryan, they might, for all my dad knows, they left Ryan to the fucking Nazis. He hasn't got a clue. He couldn't tell the difference between Tom Hanks or any of the other people who I can remember. Look, yeah, okay, everyone looked alike in that film, completely. Reservoir Dogs, that was another nightmare. Who's that guy then? It's Mr. Orange. Oh yeah, I can see that, he's kind of ginger, I get that. No, Dad, that's not how it works. Who's that guy? It's Mr. Blonde. No, he's brunette. Yeah, but it's Mr. Blonde. But he's a brunette, and he can't get it into his head. They're not named after their fucking hair colours. And then afterwards, he'll shut off the film, and he'll say something like, "Oh, I'll go and I'll do us some dinner now on my lovely George Formby grill." George Formby grill. It's not a George Formby grill, Dad. It's a George Foreman grill. The song isn't "When I'm Grilling Fucking Chicken." And I get so upset. And I shouldn't get upset with him because he's a great bloke. And I forget how wonderfully surreal he is, and how wonderfully surreal he was when I was a kid. Because my dad, very unfortunately, he lost his leg to bone cancer when he was in his 20s. Brilliant guy, my dad. And he's had a prosthetic limb ever since. Now, when I was about 5, my brother was about 9 and he used to look after us. If he had to go and do something like have a shower, or just pop out for a couple of minutes, what he'd do is he'd take off the leg, pop it in the corner, and he'd say, "Behave yourself, or leggy will know." Which seems a little bit creepy, but when you're 5, you go with what your parents tell you, don't you? It's fine. Fast forward a few years to when you start bringing home boyfriends to meet your parents. Because then not only you've got the inevitable sitting at either end of the sofa, you've got Leggy propped up in the middle, and it suddenly sounds a bit more sinister, doesn't it? "Behave yourself, my son. Leggy will know." So oddly enough, I was a bit of a late bloomer. But that's okay, because couples act in that bizarre way anyway. They do things that normal people would never, ever do. If you want to find out if someone's in a serious relationship and you're around their house, wait until they've got to the loo, and then try and find their Hoover. Because I'm certain that it's only couples who ever turn to each other and say things like, "Darling, I think we could really do with a Dyson." Single people don't have Dysons. They don't have Dysons. They have the Tesco value, $29.99, no suction supreme, which is about as effective as getting a cat to lick the carpet. But it's okay, because it leaves you with more money to do more important things like buy carbohydrates and watch the crime channel. I love the crime channel. It's much better than the forensic detective shows because they're not so, keen on the sperm thing. Maybe this is why the girl thing arrived, because of my fear of sperm. I shouldn't share this with you lovely people. I just want you all to make a promise to me that tonight when you're settling down with your girlfriend, or your wife, or your boyfriend, or your best friend's wife, make sure you count the legs in the room, because Leggy will know. Thank you, lovely people. You've been very kind to me. Have a wonderful evening and drink to